Alright, welcome to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about everything that you need to know before you take the MSF course. So I recently took the MSF course here in Texas, and I want to kind of share my experience and give you some ideas about what you can expect and things to consider before taking it, things that you might need to bring, and pretty much all the little things that you'll need to know. For the most part, most of the things that I'll talk about should apply to every other state, even though I'm mostly going to be talking about Texas, but hopefully the process should be similar between other states. But I would suggest Googling your state and kind of seeing what their process is like before you go about actually taking the course, kind of see what you're going to expect first. The purpose of the video is to help anyone looking to get into motorcycling or riding motorcycles and kind of give you some sort of guide on things that will make taking the MSF course easier. And anybody who's unfamiliar, the MSF course is designed to teach you like basic motorcycle safety skills, how to ride a motorcycle, the motorcycle controls, and we'll get into more of that as we go along. But MSF basically stands for the Motorcycle Safety Foundation. But I recommend anybody who doesn't already have a motorcycle license to basically take the MSF course. You'll learn all the basics. It's good information, and it'll teach you all about the safety that you need to know. All right, with all that out the way, let's get into it. All right, so first we'll start with the overview of the MSF course. Basically, the MSF course here in Texas is designed to teach you the fundamentals of how to operate a motorcycle. We kind of talked about that a little bit, but the most important information that you need to know about the course is that the course consists of both a classroom session, or it's online for the state of Texas if you take it through one of these organizations. And then there's also the hands-on riding exercises or the range days. And depending on how you end up scheduling your class, it can be a 2-day course or it can be a 1-day course. You just have to see what your area is like and what pretty much is available. I recommend the 2-day course for anybody who's new. You'll have more time to get familiar with the bike. You'll have more time to work with the instructor, so on and so on. We'll get into that more as we talk about the exercises and things that you'll be doing. The first thing you need to decide on is basically what organization you're going to be taking the course through. For me, I took my MSF course through the Lone Star Bikers organization here in the DFW area. If you're outside the DFW area, say like Houston or Austin or something like that, you'll have to see what's in your area. I have no clue. Some things to consider when choosing an organization is to pretty much just look at reviews. Like the same old stuff that most people should be doing is just check the organization's ratings and reviews and kind of just see if they have good instructors, if they have good times, if their pricing is like competitive with everybody else. Sometimes they offer Groupons or discounts, all that good stuff. Just do your research and see what you can find in your area. There's always good organizations with good instructors who are willing to teach everybody everything they need to know. Once you decide on an organization, the next thing you need to do is sign up for class. Keep in mind, I talked about it earlier a little bit, that you have the 1-day course and the 2-day course. You just have to decide on, based on the organization, how they have it structured and what your schedule looks like. I recommend planning it pretty far out in advance. You'll usually have maybe a month or two if you want to schedule it that far out to kind of schedule or pick a date on what works better with your schedule, work, and so on. Sometimes you could take a course during the week, sometimes the weekend. You just have to kind of see. I would say make sure to pick a date that's far enough out that you have time to complete the classroom sessions. The classroom sessions are at least here in Texas, consist of an online course. The online course, we'll get into more about the online course itself, but it's about 5 hours. It might take you longer if you want to sit there the whole time and do it, but you want to plan accordingly if you want to do an hour a day for a week or so on and so on, like that. However you want to break it up, you just have to make sure that you complete this before you get to the actual range days. Next, we'll talk about the online course / classroom sessions, whatever you want to call it. So now that you've scheduled with an organization, the first thing you need to do is to complete this course. You want to get that knocked out as soon as possible. You don't want to be trying to do it the day before, the night before, trying to complete the course. Try to do it early, try to get it done. But some things to keep in mind. Make sure that once you complete the course, you print off a copy of the certificate, and you're going to take that certificate and bring it to you for your first day of range, like your first range day. You're going to make sure you have that copy because the instructor is going to ask for it. You're going to give them the copy. You're going to fill out the paperwork, all that good stuff. But make sure, it's very important that you have that or you will not be able to complete the range days or take part in them. I kind of touched on it already, but the course is about 5 hours long. It covers some essential motorcycle topics like controls, friction zone, basic riding techniques, different types of motorcycles, road signs, lane positioning, the importance of wearing gear and so on, how to ride in weather conditions, pretty much all the different things you can take into account for operating a motorcycle safely. It covers. It's good information. I recommend paying attention to it, or at least taking the time rather than just flipping through it. It is videos that you have to watch and then answer questions later. I recommend paying attention to it. It's good information and it will inevitably keep you safe. I will admit that it might not be the most interesting information. It is a little boring, but I found it helpful, at least when taking the course. It was interesting. I guess overall opinions about the online course or classroom course, I would say it's pretty easy. It's very informational. I don't really have any complaints about it. Other than that, pretty straightforward to take. Just complete it, watch the video, answer the questions. At the end of the course, you take one big test, which covers all the different topics that you went over throughout the whole course. It's very easy. Just pay attention to it. The information is very useful. All right, so now that you've completed the online course, you're ready for the range day. Your range day, maybe you completed the course early, it's about a week out. It's coming up. I'm gonna cover some important things that you should bring to the range to basically make the experience seamless. These are some things that I did to make sure that everything went perfectly. And I'm gonna share some common things that you should keep in mind, make sure that you do before or leading up to your actual range day. I guess one of the most important things, especially out here in Texas, it's hot, hot, hot. Make sure you bring a cooler, some water, and some snacks, especially if you're taking this course anytime this summer. It is hot. It was 100 degrees when I took my course. We were melting in the parking lot. It was an 8-hour day. You're gonna be in full gear the whole time, running through instructions. You might not even be riding the whole time. It's a whole lot of do an exercise, sit, wait, do an exercise, sit, wait, so on and so on. It's gonna be hot. Make sure you bring some water, stay hydrated. Make sure you bring some snacks because you won't have a whole break. You might have like maybe 10, 15 minutes in between each exercise. Not a whole lot of time to actually go and sit down and enjoy a meal, so bring something that you can snack on. I recommend trying to eat something beforehand. It is a long day. You need to stay hydrated and fueled. If not, you're not gonna have a fun time. I would say the most important thing to do before the class is to look at your MSF Courses site or MSF organization site and look to see what gear they recommend that you bring and what gear is required. You need to have proper riding gear to take the course. If you do not have proper riding gear, then you cannot take the course. As for my organization, if you look at their website, it clearly lists that they provide helmets if you need a helmet, that you need to wear gloves. It doesn't necessarily have to be motorcycle gloves. It can be mechanics gloves. You will be in a parking lot going slow speed. So I'm not sure if it really matters too much. In my case, I bought this helmet. I bought some boots. I bought some gloves. You don't have to buy all the gear, but I recommend having at least the minimum required gear to take the course, or else you will not be able to take the course. Like if you don't want to go out and spend the money on a good helmet because you're not sure if you want to get in a motorcycle or you don't have the budget, you don't need to. They provide helmets, or if you want to go and get a budget helmet, you're more than welcome to. Same with boots. You can just get some work boots. You don't have to get actual motorcycle boots. I got some Alpine Star boots and gloves because I'm going to actually be using them, and I plan on using them. But if you're unsure, I recommend just getting the minimum gear that you need. Also, when you arrive for the MSF course at the location that you picked, make sure that you come early, at least 15 to 20 minutes early, especially on the first day. You will have to meet with the instructor, give them your certificate of completion for the online course. You're going to hand him the certificate. He's going to hand you paperwork. You're going to fill that out and do all that kind of stuff. But make sure you get there early. You don't want to be showing up exactly at your start time. Say it starts at 8. You don't want to be showing up exactly at 8, and then everybody has to wait on you to get ready and get set up. Try to get there early so that everything goes smoothly. If you finish all the exercises for the day early, especially if you take the 2-day course, then you get to leave early, which is a good thing because here in Texas, it's hot as hell. So finishing early was nice. We finished before the peak heat of the day. So get there early. Oh, also, I'm gonna say it one more time. Don't forget to bring your completion certificate, print it out, and driver's license. Make sure you bring that as well. And your gear, and your cooler, your water, everything you need. And preferably a chair as well. Pack it in the car the day or two beforehand. Make sure you're ready to go. Don't lose it. All right, so now I'm going to kind of talk about how the range day goes and what you can expect when you show up for your first range day, or if you're doing the 1-day course, how the range day will go all the way through, or if you're doing the 2-day course, you'll come for the first range day, and then after that, you'll come for the second range day, where the second day you will finish up the last of the exercises and then take the final test. In the 1-day course, you take it all in 1 day. You do all of the exercises and then you do the final test. So for me, I did the 2-day course. So for the first day, you can expect to arrive early, give the certificate to the instructor. Please do not forget that. Make sure you have your license. You're going to fill out your paperwork saying that you won't sue them if you die, all that good stuff. Once you've done that, your instructor will check your gear. He'll check your helmet, make sure that it's not damaged and that it's rated. As you can see at the back of the helmets, they're, let's see. So as you can see at the back of the helmet, they have ratings. This one is ECE and DOT. Make sure you have a good rated helmet if you bring a helmet. If not, then make sure that you check if your organization provides helmets. This one does. So if you need a helmet, that's when you get your helmet from your instructor. He'll check to make sure you have gloves, boots, long sleeve shirt. I also forgot to mention that. Make sure you wear a long sleeve shirt or some sort of jacket. If you want to wear a full motorcycle jacket, you can. I just wore a normal jacket because it was 100 degrees and we're going at max probably 25 miles an hour. All right, so once you finish all the basic introductions, did all the paperwork, got your gear squared away, and you're ready to start, you walk over, you'll get assigned a bike or pick out a bike, however your instructor does it. And then the first thing you're going to do is go over motorcycle controls, pretty much how to turn on the bike. So he's basically going to go over the clutch, where's the clutch located, where's the front brake, the rear brake, the shifter, how to turn on the bike, how to start the bike, where the shutoff is, all that good stuff. He's going to walk you through where all the controls are on the specific bike that you're going to be using. The next thing, once you get through that, probably the first thing that he'll have you probably do is get on the bike, sit on the bike, turn the bike on and off. And then friction zone. The most important thing that you'll be doing the entire time is the friction zone. If you're not sure what the friction zone is, there's some good videos out there. I might link a few below that kind of describe more about the friction zone and how to get comfortable with it and some drills you can do. But pretty much most of the focus is going to be around the friction zone. So you're going to be letting the clutch out very, very slowly and squeezing it back in. Letting it out very slowly and squeezing it back in. You're going to be doing a lot of that, rocking back and forth. And then eventually you'll get to probably power walking, which is basically just slowly releasing clutch to the friction zone and holding it right there and waddling with the bike. Then coming to a stop and doing that again. It's going to be trying to get you familiar with all the controls of the bike, how the clutch works, how the brakes feel, kind of just get you comfortable with it. And then eventually, once you start to get through getting a feel for the friction zone and how to kind of get moving, the next thing you're going to start doing is practicing riding in a straight line, getting through the friction zone, releasing the clutch all the way, getting your feet up off the pegs, riding a little bit, and then pulling the clutch in and using the front brake, maybe the rear brake if you're feeling like it, and coming to a complete stop and repeating that a few times. And then pretty much the instructor's going to have like a booklet or some sort of list of drills that you're going to be doing. And that's pretty much what they're going off of. They're going to try to get you familiar with the bike, comfortable with all the controls, and then they're going to start hitting you with drills or exercises, as they call it, which are pretty much different ways that you will be operating the bike, say out on the street or out on the road. It's pretty much just a list of different scenarios that you might encounter, like how to start and stop smoothly. Maybe if you're taking the course in a parking lot that has a hill, like the one I took it in, it was a great teacher for how to effectively use the friction zone while also applying throttle, so that you can go up a hill without rolling backwards, without falling, all that good stuff. Starting and stopping will probably be a drill. Shifting into second gear will be a good focus as well. Getting up to speed, shifting into the next gear smoothly. Also, swerving is a big one. Say somebody or something pulls out in front of you, or you need to swerve around something. Something's in the road, box, piece of crap. How do you avoid making contact with it? You swerve. So they're going to emphasize swerving. There's also U-turns, how to basically do a U-turn within a set square or a set box. You might do just a straight U-turn, or there might be like a figure eight type of style for the U-turns. It kind of just depends. You can watch some videos on your area or some videos on how people practice for the MSF course. I'll probably link a few down below or up above, wherever I'm pointing. But I'll link some helpful resources for things you can do to prepare or like get a mental picture. There's also emergency braking, which is very important. Say something pulls out in front of you or something falls in the road and you need to stop quickly. Here's how you stop. There's also navigating curves. Make sure you look where you go. That's why I also say pay attention to the MSF course, the online course, because a good focus, some of the concepts from the course itself do apply to the actual skills that you're going to be learning, which is very important. Like looking where you're going, making sure that you're smooth with all your inputs. You don't want to be jerky. You want to be fast. You want to be smooth, consistent, and meaningful. Pretty much all these exercises that you're going to cover are going to help you build your confidence up, build your skills up, and learn how to safely operate the motorcycle, safely operate the controls, and basically make sure that you will be safe when you inevitably pass and get out on the main road and start riding around. For the 2-day course, the first day, pretty much it's pretty straightforward. You're going to run through a bunch of drills. You're going to get comfortable with the bike. I'm not too sure how far you will get. It kind of just depends on when your instructor stops. You might get up to the point where you're starting and stopping, riding around. You might be going around some curves, so on and so on. The second day, make sure you get there early. You want to show up early, get set up, get your gear on, your helmet, gloves, all that good stuff. Then the second day, you're going to go through some warm-up stuff. You're going to practice the friction zone again to make sure you still got it, starting, stopping, braking, all that good stuff. Make sure you still remember how to operate the bike, and then get into some drills. You're going to do some more U-turns, some more curves, swerving, braking, all that good stuff. Once you've gotten through all the required exercises that you need to do, that is when you get to the final test, the dreaded final test. It seems scary, but it is not scary if you do not overthink it. All the exercises that you've completed up to this point are on the exam, or at least 5 of them in my case. The final test, I think, was 5 exercises, and it is pretty hard to fail. Aside from crashing and face planting or something, it's pretty difficult to fail it. Just make sure you pay attention during all of your exercises. Also, pay attention to the instructor's feedback. The instructor is going to be giving you feedback all throughout the day. So if they see that, hey, you need to look more, you need to be smoother, you need to take your time releasing the clutch more, listen to their inputs. They'll give you guidance on what you can do so that you're safer, smoother, and more confident, which will inevitably help you do better in these exercises. So when you get to the final test, you're not stressing about it. It is a cakewalk. All you're going to be doing is more of the same exercises. In my case, I think for our final test, all we did was some swerving, starting and stopping, like emergency stops, navigating a curve and then stopping, starting from a stop and then immediately taking a right turn. And then I can't remember what the final exercise was, but pretty much I think it was just demonstrating some sort of combination of other skills. But pay attention to all the exercises and try to take the instructor's feedback, and you would do just fine. The final test is not difficult. It's pretty hard to fail. There is some leeway. You don't have to do perfect U-turns and do everything perfectly. There is some room for you to lose some points if you need to. Just try not to do multiple violations at once or multiple things wrong at once. 1 or 2 things wrong, you'd be just fine. Like for example, with the U-turns, a lot of people stress about the U-turns. The U-turns are a little bit difficult if you struggle with going in, I guess, your opposite direction. For some people, it's right. I would say to just practice and listen to instructor feedback. Remember, the rear brake is your friend. And then also if you're going to go wide out of, like, the U-turn is going to be inside a set area. If you feel like you're going to go wide, either go wide or put your foot down, but don't do both. One or the other. I recommend just going wide and continuing on, and you'll do just fine. You don't need to do it perfectly. As for swerving and emergency braking, that kind of stuff, it's pretty straightforward. If you practice all the exercises with the instructor's feedback, you will do just fine. And then once you finish all that, at the end of the course, at the end of the final test, once he gives all the feedback and tells you how you did, he'll basically give you your certificate saying that you completed it, and then you're going to take it to your, what is it called, DPS, or Department of Motor Vehicles, or DPS, whatever they call it around your state. You're going to take that certificate plus your, I guess, whatever paperwork you need. There's like forms and things you have to fill out. Look at your state. If you're in Texas, there's quite a bit of info that you need to bring to update your license. Look at the DMV's website. Look at what they have that you need to bring. It's very important that you pay attention to the stuff, because in Texas, at least Texas, when you schedule your appointment, it is pretty far out. Like these, I guess after COVID, these DMVs or DPSs stopped taking walk-ins. So now you have to schedule an appointment. And in my case, my appointment, I took the course in, I think it was May. I had to wait till June to basically go to the DMV. Make sure you schedule your appointment early. Your certificate doesn't expire for I think a few years, but you want to try to get it done as soon as possible, especially if you want to go out and buy a bike or you already have a bike and you want to get riding. Get all this stuff squared away so that you don't have any troubles legally. All right, so overall, the MSF course here in Texas or any other state, in my opinion, they provide a solid foundation for new riders and or if say you're experienced but you don't have a license or you never did or you rode dirt bikes like I did or something like that, it's a refresher. It gives you the knowledge and experience that you need to kind of safely operate a bike and navigate streets with safety in mind. In my opinion, it's not just about passing the test, it's about building skills and confidence and safety for when you're out on the road. I highly recommend taking it seriously and paying attention. Like some of the concepts and some of the information might be very boring. Some of it is pretty boring, but it could end up saving your life, especially swerving or emergency braking or how to do any of these things safely or smoothly or effectively. It's very important, especially if you're going to be out on any major road. It's good information. All right, so that wraps up everything that you basically need to know about taking an MSF course. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe for more motorcycle content and tips coming soon. Probably some motorcycle adventures, some installs. There will be a new bike reveal coming soon. I'll probably announce it at a later date, what's coming, and it'll be a nice surprise for the channel and some more motorcycle content. And then also, if you've taken the MSF course recently, kind of drop some feedback down below. Share what your experience was like. I'm kind of interested to see how like other people, if they took it to a different organization or basically just how was it for you guys?